All right, so today I want to talk to you about something that holds so many people back and gets them stuck when they're in a difficult situation. And it's this ability to think that you have control. You see, the only constant in life is change. And you can't control those people outside of you. You can't control that situation outside of you. You can't really control your circumstances sometimes. But the only thing you can control is your reactional to it, your emotional reaction to it, how your movement forward, the meaning that you give it. You see, when you're stuck in a situation and you're trying to control the situation, you're actually relinquishing or decreasing and diluting your power to the situation. When really you should reactivate your focus, redirect your focus back into you and say, hey, what can I do with my reactions around this? How can I react to this situation so that way I'm bringing in empowerment, not only to the situation, but to myself and the meaning I'm deriving from it. And after you know and you've defined how am I going to react to the situation and you've chosen what type of meaning you're going to give that situation, then you got to say, hey, how do I want to move forward from this? How do I want to carry myself forward and say, hey, who do I want to stand for? How do I want to show up? What do I want other people to think about how I move ahead? Am I going to be a role model for others in this situation? You know, this may sound like, oh my God, this is a big thing, and maybe my situation's so small. Maybe you are in a fight with your spouse or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your coworker, and you're just not getting along. Yeah, I understand that, maybe that's not a thing where you're thinking about, oh, how am I going to be a role model? But here's the thing. You can be a role model for your future self, right? So you got to ask yourself, I can't control that person that's in front of me. But what I can control is how I react to that individual. And that is gold. That right there is the thing that's going to move you to the next step. And if you're in a fight with that other person, you need to just pause and say, hey, where is my reaction with all this? What am I reacting to? What they're saying, that I can't control what they're saying, but I can certainly control the meaning I'm giving this in my mind. And I can certainly control how I move forward based off of what I've experienced here. You see, we so often try to honor those tough times and honor that struggle and really try to make the best out of the challenges. But we forget that, hey, the most important thing is to honor the choice, not the challenge. Honor the choice, not the challenge. You always have personal choice. You have the choice to say, hey, what way am I going to pause to what they're saying? How am I going to react to this? And you'll see in your life that most of the time you get into situations where you said the wrong thing, you felt bad about what you said, or you approached it the wrong way, or you said the right thing but in the wrong sequence, and you get into this issue of making that person feel a certain way and creating more of a firestorm in your face by just not being mindful of how you're reacting to what's happening. So get the control back into your life. Get that control back from that situation. Don't relinquish and decrease or dilute your power. You see, your personal power is embedded in your ability to be mindful of your reactions. And then after you do that is how am I going to give this the meaning that actually motivates me and gives me momentum to move forward? You can ask yourself that. What kind of meaning am I going to give this so that way it actually gives me the momentum to move forward? And then third, how do I move forward? And one way to do that is say, hey, who do I want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Who am I trying to be from this point? How would that person that I want to be handle this? How is that person that I admire, that I look up to, that I think of as a great human being, maybe not even living or maybe in the past, maybe someone that is an icon for you, how would they handle this? What are their standards? I can adopt those same standards for myself and move forward from that same sentiment. And you have to say, okay, fine, I'm gonna move forward in this way. You see, once you've dialed out and been mindful of the reaction, then you know the meaning you're giving it, then you give yourself the momentum, then you can commit to move forward in the way that will serve you, your future self, from the best place. And that doesn't happen unless you first start and be mindful of how you're reacting. You see, and you have to honor the choice, not the challenge. We put so much emphasis on, I'm going through this is what's happening. I can clearly define my struggles. But can you clearly define your choices? Can you clearly make reason and give yourself a sense of inspiration from the choices that you can make in your life right now? And be mindful of those choices. So start there, honor the choices, not the challenge. Move forward from there. Do those 3 things, and you'll see that you can turn any situation, no matter how challenging it is, into something that you are now controlling, because now you've taken back your personal power, your personal sense of direction, initiative, and your personal sense of strength. And the more you do this, you'll see that the greater of a person you're going to become into moving into who you want to move into. So I'll see you in the next one. I figured I'd drop this here for you today. I hope it helped. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And have an incredible day. Live inspired.